The hardest thing was probably having the confidence and the bravery to give up my 9-to-5 guaranteed job to do something the unknown, because I didn't know if I would be successful, so I had to take a risk. Prior to opening, I had a lot of support from family and friends, helping me get the place ready, helping me find employees, and actually one friend, I couldn't have done it without her, and she's one that painted the building for me. And after I opened, I had, people started coming and buying ice cream, and it was kind of neat to see this dream become a reality, and people actually support it and come, and I have a lot of support from the community to this day. It was important for me to be within easy walking distance to the park and to the school. I wanted to have a drive-through, and this kind of fit all of that, and there really weren't any other locations. So when it turned out that I could get this spot, I was really happy, because at one point I didn't think it would happen.
I was excited because who wouldn't want their mom to own an ice cream shop? It's free ice cream.
I think every year I try to make things better and improve on things, and so every year the memories are just like, okay, what's changed and what has become better. I put on the patio and that awning, and that was a huge undertaking, because I had this vision to have a dome, and everybody's like, oh, just put out this flat awning. And when I first opened, there was gravel and a couple picnic tables out front with some bushes. And in my head, I had this vision of what I wanted it to be. And so I was fortunate enough to be part of a grant program that helped fund that project. I wanted a place, a friendly atmosphere where people could go and visit, hang out, and enjoy ice cream. And I think it has become that, a place for the community to go.
It's the selection of ice cream. You got more of a wide variety of flavors. They taste great. The atmosphere, the place is fixed up really nice. You got a beautiful awning. The inside, friendly, quick service. Got a great drive-through. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. It's a great place in a little local neighborhood.
You are going to miss your opening day, and I said, you're not going to miss it. We're going to learn to do plumbing, Valerie.
We went to the hardware store and said, this is what we need to do, and they sold us the parts, and we did it.
That's right.
Mostly her. So I said, all right, I guess I'm going to do it, because of all the signs, that had happened, me being able to get the building I wanted, people coming that wanted to work for me that actually knew what they were doing, because I didn't know what I was doing. And evidently, it's important to know what you're doing. Who would have thought how hard it would be to scoop ice cream?
Scooping ice cream is not an easy thing. It's actually a whole lot more work than one thinks.
Yeah, it's a lot more into it than you would think.
My name's Robin Lowell, and I worked at Yummies for, I think, 3 years. It was interesting because a lot of times everybody is set in their ways, and they already know how they want to do things, and have policies set up and procedures, and we got to kind of help decide what was easier to do by what a couple of us had experience with in the past and seemed to work. And then when you have a new owner, you have someone who has different goals for their own business, and I feel like we were kind of included in it, so we got to start all together. It's fun. It's nice to be somewhere where you feel like you're cared about as a customer, and you just, everybody, any excuse to go to Yummies, because you know that it started out as a small business, but it's just grown into something that's really enjoyable.
Yummies was my first job since I was, I think, 16 in high school. So I think Yummies has given me the skills to talk to people, which will help me in my career as an art teacher.
The things that I love most about working here is the people that I work with, how it's always busy, so I always have something to do, and the communication that goes on between the workers and our boss, Vale Hoffman, who does such a great job at letting us know what we need to do next. Just the positive work environment.
Free ice cream is a nice perk. Interacting with people. It's nice seeing people happy once you give them ice cream.
I've made lifetime friends. I think it's fun and it makes people happy.
It's just a great place to go with the family. Like, the ice cream's delicious, the service is great, and it's my favorite, if not the favorite, ice cream place to go.
My name's Hannah Ross. I worked at Yummies for her first summer open. Working at a startup is always a little bit difficult because you have to, like, even if people know what they're doing there, there's still so much, it's a ton of growth all at once. Figuring out how things work and how things go together, and things change regularly. I mean, when I worked at Yummies, there was no patio, and this little building, this was like 10 years ago, it was like a taco place and all kinds of other like weird things before Vale took it over. And I remember Vale and my mom talking about this, and Vale was going kind of back and forth about not being sure what to do or should she do it. And she finally just decided to jump in, and she's done a beautiful job here.
I come to Yummies because of the atmosphere, because it's supporting a local business, and because I love everybody here.
We love seeing you girls. The ice cream is secondary. And you make a mean milkshake with hard ice cream.
When I hire employees or super scoopers, it's a team effort. The current super scoopers will help me interview, and what we are looking for is someone we think that will fit with the team, has a good attitude, and isn't afraid to work. And of course you have to be, you have to smile, and I think I call it ice cream friendly.
My name is Emma.
My name is Lauren.
My name is Morgan.
I have been at Yummies for, this will be my 4th season.
This will be my 2nd season.
4 seasons?
This will be my 2nd full year.
My favorite thing about working at Yummies is the people that I work with, because it's a friendly environment and you always look forward to going to work.
I actually love the people that I work with. We all get along really well.
I get to interact with customers every day. It's normally the locals, and when I'm outside of Yummies, they always come up to me and say hi to me just because they know where I'm from and who I'm with. I have great coworkers who I get to work with, and I have a great boss.
It's a great summer job, and I love working with all the girls and the 2 guys, and it's just a fun way to earn money over the summer.
My favorite memory at Yummies is one time my boss lady bought me a Elsa costume from the movie Frozen, and she asked me to dress up as a princess to come to the Moonlight Madness during the Christmas season. Now a few little kids always come into the shop and they call me Elsa because that's really who they think I am.
We all went to a Sabres game, and I had a really good time hanging out with all the girls, and the guys, and just having fun and watching a hockey game.
One of my favorite memories would have to be when we went to the Attica Rodeo, and we scooped there for like 4 days straight, and we had to stay up like all night making waffle cones and whatnot, like 1 in the morning, and then we woke up at like 6 a.m.
My favorite memories, I think, would be doing the mural out back. That's giving me a lot of confidence in myself that I could do something that big as an artist, so that's one of my favorite memories.
Well, I work at the hospital in Warsaw also, so being here I feel like it's more of a community. Like, I know everybody that I'm working with, like, as compared to working at a bigger place where I meet new people sometimes every day. So here I feel like a family.
I really like socializing with all the customers. Everybody's really nice, and I just like seeing the smile on everyone's faces when you hand them their ice cream. Okay, so my favorite memory of working at Yummies was when we got done closing and we cranked up the tunes and just had a dance party for like 15 minutes, just because it's fun to hang out with your coworkers afterwards anyway.
I belong to the National Ice Cream Retailers Association, and at one of the conventions I was talking to a person from Upstate Dairy and a couple of other ice cream shop owners, and actually at the convention I was in the minority. Everyone there, the majority of the people, 90%, made their own ice cream, and just a few of us bought ice cream. And so I was visiting with the gentleman from Upstate, and he's like, why don't you make your own ice cream? And I said, well, my grandpa said, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But just through talking to the other ice cream shop owners and him, I thought, yeah, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I try to improve? Because like I said, every year I try and improve the business to make it just, I think it's important to keep growing as times change and to keep improving. If you don't make improvements, you become stagnant. So I guess I had to follow what I really wanted, and that was to keep making improvements. Lower preservatives, and I have control over the product, and I thought, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I make that improvement? So at the convention they kind of talked to me about it. I found a mentor in Cleveland, Ohio, and I went to spend a couple weeks with him over the winter. He taught me how to make ice cream, and then I came back here and I started making my own ice cream, and it was a huge transition. For myself, a learning curve, and for the customers, because I was changing something they've known for 6 years, and so it was a huge transition for everyone, and the super scoopers to learn how to sell it to people who had never tried it, because there's now a lot of places around here that make their own ice cream.
I think now that she makes the homemade ice cream, I think it's more personalized. I feel like we're selling something that it's like our product, and it's not someone else's that brings it to us. Like, we're selling our own ice cream. I think at first, like anyone, they're not really accustomed to change, or they're not willing to change, but I think after a while they realize that it's more personalized, and they can ask for what they want, and if we need to make a change, that we're welcome to make a change if they want to, add more flavor or more of something if they want to. So I think after a while they were more willing to change.
I get recipes from fellow ice cream shop owners. There's from the internet, and suggestions from, you know, super scoopers, customers, and then I'll call my suppliers. Hey, how can I make it? And there's some, you know, there's usage on some of the supplies. So once I have everything I need, I have a batch freezer that I'll put the mix in. And so let's say Muddy Frog, which is one of our most popular flavors and a super scooper creation. I flavor the mix with a mint, and then when the ice cream, I put it in for about 10 minutes in the batch freezer, and it'll freeze it and put air into the cream. And when the cream comes out, ice cream, I'll stir in the fudge, the brownies, and the Oreos, and that all has to be hand done. So that one is one of the more complicated ones to make, because there's, you know, several steps that have to happen after you take the ice cream out. And so you take the ice cream out, and that one I hand stir in the fudge and the Oreos and the brownies, and then it has to freeze in a blast freezer from anywhere to like 8 to 12 hours. You want to bring down the core temperature of the ice cream so that ice crystals don't freeze, and the blast freezer will go to like -20 degrees.
first, I feel like people were very like excited about it and really like surprised we were making our own ice cream, and then other people were like, oh no, I love Perry's, I only want to eat Perry's. But working here, like over the years, I've noticed that people love homemade ice cream and they've been accustomed to it, so I think it's better.
I just started carrying a vegan mix, which is something customers have requested, and I get that from California, Mamie's Gelato, and then the other items come from everywhere, you know, from suppliers all over and even locally. You know, I'll try and buy locally when possible, and you know, all natural when possible. I could be at a basketball game and somebody says, you really should do a Mountain Dew flavor. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay, let me look into that. And I do a little research, and voila, we have Mountain Dew. When I was making cheesecake ice cream, I'm thinking, if I was at the Cheesecake Factory, what kind of cheesecake would I get? I would get Snickers. So we have Snickers cheesecake. So it's just kind of random, like however, you know, it could be a suggestion, it could just be something I saw somewhere else. I get some ideas from the ice cream folks that I go to the convention with. You know, we share ideas all the time. Well, it's fresher. There's a higher butter fat to it, so it should be creamier, and less preservatives because it's made and it's not really stored, you know, for long periods of time. And I think it tastes better. So the brownies are made homemade. Cinnamon sauce, which is a recipe I got from Barb Conger, who's a local resident here in Warsaw, and actually the sundae is made after her. Oh, and then we're having a little bit of fun right now with our waffle cones and making waffle cone chips to have nachos.
Mel asked me to come down and help her, so I thought I would. I guess I enjoy the end product the most of anything. It's much easier than I thought. I expected having to churn it, not by a mechanical device, and I also didn't think it would be such a short period of time to make it. Yummies is going to probably blow up and expand drastically. It has already. It's gone from 2 or 3 batches of ice cream a week up to every day.
Well, it's evolved a lot because it went from concept to reality, and it went from just offering a few menu items of pre-made ice cream to now making her own ice cream and a lot of menu items through an unbelievable amount of hard work and dedication and perseverance.
It's taken over my life, but it's all for the good. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love the people. I love the job. I love it's always different. My day, like I could come in thinking, all right, this is what I'm going to do today, but then 1, 2 things happen and my whole day has kind of shifted. So it keeps me on my toes, keeps things interesting. For the future, I definitely want to keep making my own ice cream, keep changing and improving when I can, so that people keep coming and making it their destination for family, for community, for a walk in the evening. I think that's important, and you know, at some point, you know, I'd love for somebody in my family to take it over, so it's always here and it stays like this, an important part of the